Hey, and welcome to another channeling video. We have some real interesting questions lined up for you today, and I can't wait for you to hear it. I want to say also, I forgot to write a comment last time where I'm asking for your questions. So I'm going to remember to do that this time, and please provide more questions. Your questions make this so much more interesting. It allows us to go to brand new places. So don't forget to provide new questions for more channeling. So as I mentioned in the past video, we have the Channeled Messages ebook that is out now. It's called How Does Oregano Feel? And I'm super proud of the title. I think it's awesome. And if you want to have a preview at it, check the description box. There should be a preview that is quite extensive, where you can get an idea of what it is and get the feeling. I think it's really, I mean, I felt like it was really profound in the way that it was conveyed in the written word. So I feel like it's quite different when you read it as opposed to when you listen to the channelings. Because a lot of times when we hear them on a YouTube video, it's really profound in the moment, and then you just forget about it. But when it's in the written word, I feel like it has a lot more impact for me anyway. So I do recommend you have a look at the preview. It's free. You just click on it, you get it free. So enjoy that. And if you want to order the channeled messages, it's also on a discount. So now we're going to bring in Bahar. Bahar, welcome.
Hello.
Hey. So we've discussed some of the questions beforehand. So you guys, we literally decide on the questions just before we start, and it's always like, personally, I like not really knowing where it's going. But what do you think, Bahar, about the questions for this week?
I'm excited. Some interesting questions I wouldn't have thought of, and also we're of course gonna finish the planets, channeling the
Yeah,
planets. So I'm excited for that too,
I
because
want to
it
tell
was
the
really fun last time.
That was awesome. I loved how I love when they're like funny with us, and when they're like really let their personality shine. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, whether they're like, I felt like Saturn kind of felt like, in the Pooh Bear, like Eeyore in Pooh
Yeah.
Bear. Yeah, she really felt like Eeyore in the sense that like depressed, but it's like um yeah, like sweet but depressed, and
In
like,
a cute way. Yeah.
yeah, he was, yeah, super sweet. And yeah, yeah. I keep Bahar is used to this by now, but sometimes my mind, because I'm dealing with health difficulties, and so sometimes my mind just shuts off. So I was just joking about it earlier, how channeling is so ideal to me because I don't have to think, I don't have to make the mental effort. Actually, I also want to tell people about one question that we both loved that you guys wrote was about the purpose of dancing. So I didn't know this about Bahar, but she actually shares my passion for dancing. We both love dancing. What kind of dances do you love, or have you loved
Oh,
done?
I don't know if you see, but I have a pole in the background, so I do pole
Yeah.
dancing.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm just finding that out. Is it hard? Does it take a lot of like muscle strength?
Yes, incredible amount of
Yeah.
muscle strength and
Yeah.
like mental endurance because it hurts in the
Oh,
beginning.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh, wow.
flexibility, but I think it's the
Yeah.
most empowering sport for especially women. Like I can recommend
Yeah.
10 out of 10 to
Yeah.
anyone who wanting to reclaim their body and like their power. Really.
Wow, I think that is very interesting, especially for women,
Mm,
Also like reclaiming also our femininity, our
mm.
feminine power, and like
Yeah,
it's a very like physical thing for us.
mm.
That's interesting.
And it,
I've never tried it.
it's been so healing for me. Like I've been doing it for maybe a year and a half, and
Mm.
I've totally transformed in that time, and I think a lot of it also has been this, because it's a physical thing, but you have a lot of internal change like that you go through because you need to be so determined, because you need to own your body and sort of be like, this is me, this is my body, and with all the shame that's like that we have to deal with as women.
Yeah.
This is very like has been very helpful for me to remember that my sexuality is nothing that I need to be ashamed of, and
Yeah.
yeah, as
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 100%. I'm very for like a sexuality that is um, honoring of the feminine as well as the masculine, and
mm,
like a movement towards a wholesome sexuality, which
yeah,
sounds like really weird in today's society because a lot of the how messages about sex are portrayed, it's like it's usually very degrading towards women. It's very
yeah,
humiliating towards women. So I feel like to be like sex positive, you have to also in this context, it's like you have to be sex positive, but like okay with degrading women. It's like I don't know. I feel like it's so messed up. So I'm definitely for a healthy, loving sexuality that honors women and honors men and honors that doesn't put people down. You know.
and that doesn't connotate it with this idea of shame, that we need to be ashamed.
Exactly.
And how
Exactly.
weird is it that in the movies, all those like scenes where people are naked or somehow like
Yeah.
getting intimate are always like censored, and kids shouldn't watch
Yeah.
that, but then
Yeah.
when people get out guns and kill each other and slice each other's
Yeah.
throat, then that's totally fine for
Yeah.
kids to see. I'm like,
Yeah.
what world do we live in? Like,
Yeah.
this is so crazy. Like, people like making love and like being intimate, it's like you need to
Yeah.
like don't look at that, but then when people like blast each other's head off, like
Yeah.
that's totally fine. It's,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
very
I do think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I do think sex is it's like an adult thing. So I don't know if it's appropriate for kids in either way, but I think, but I don't like
definitely
how it's
not.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't like how it's like, how they just, it's just degrading. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why should anybody have to be degraded? Like, isn't it supposed to be enjoyable? Like, why is someone being degraded or insulted or
Mm,
treated like they're an object or I don't see how this, so in that sense I do think that has to do with the associations with shame, that
mm.
like if it comes from a place of shame it becomes this dark thing, anyway. So people are going to love this, I think, because it's always juicy when it's about the sex. Are we even now? People are going to be disappointed none of the questions are about sex, but
Maybe we'll digress in that direction. Who knows?
I bet we're going to get a lot of sex related questions for next time. So
Yeah,
just write them in the comment
for
section.
sex related questions.
Yeah, it was about dancing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I love dancing too. I've never done pole dancing, but I like anything rhythmic. We just discussed, I used to do hip hop when it was jumpy, when it was like physical when I was a kid, and then dance hall, and now it's Afrobeat. Anything with a rhythm I enjoy, and also the Turkish dance of halay. If you know, you know. If you don't know, check it out. It's
You
awesome.
know, you know.
Me and Bahar both have our ethnic origins in Turkey, so we have that in common. I'm actually pronouncing her name off as well. Her name is Bahar, but I'm
Yeah.
just making it like American friendly because I don't want to hear any people mispronouncing her name anyway. So, so I jumped ahead. I don't know how that makes sense. But yeah, let's get started because yeah,
Yeah,
we've been
let's
talking for like
roll.
almost 10 minutes. That's what happens when we get into the topic of sex.
All right.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So the first question is to Neptune. Neptune, can we talk to you?
Yeah. Neptune is very happy to.
Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get your turn last time, Neptune. So, what do you feel about the Earth's energy and spiritual development?
Neptune's voice is a little muted or unclear. Can you maybe break the question down or ask more smaller specific questions or like approach on different?
Okay, Neptune, what do you feel about the Earth's energy?
Neptune wants to stay away from it a little bit. It's a little bit messy for Neptune.
How come?
It's just a lot of stress and a lot of there's some war and aggression, and Neptune doesn't really like that. Neptune likes peace and quiet. Neptune does like the oceans.
So, what do you feel about our spiritual development, Neptune?
They're at different levels. Some people are very advanced. Some people don't need to develop spiritually because they are very integrated in themselves. So they live in they live close to nature and are true to their own nature. So they live in a very symbiotic way with nature. And so those societies don't really need a lot of spiritual development because they're not separate from, so they're integrated spiritually, physically, emotionally. They are in flow. But people that are much more separated from their natural state and nature, they tend to have more of a work mindset or like society minds, like things that you have to do and things they have to think, and then they have to develop a spirituality that is separate from that because their waking life is so unspiritual and so unnatural. And so for those people, Neptune is saying you are more motivated to develop spiritually because your day-to-day life is so unnatural.
So, do you have any advice for these people?
You need to be able to relax more and be more in flow. So you can connect with my energy when you are in flow, when you are not pushing yourself or willing yourself to be something that is not your natural state. So when you just relax and go with the flow, then you don't need to be spiritual because you will be guided. And so the more you can allow yourself to be guided, the more I can help you.
And how can we clear out the mental fog that we sometimes get when we have transits from you?
If my influence is not foggy on its own, so if you're getting a foggy effect, it is usually connected to other things as well. It's a combination of things. My influence will be um, a flowing influence where there's less thinking needed and more of things just flowing into place. If you are feeling foggy, it is usually also connected to something to do with Mercury. So it's not my influence alone. It could be also an emotional influence. So it could be a combination of things that aren't really how they're supposed to be. And the fogginess will be a symptom that not everything is as it should be in your mental state and emotional state. That some things are off, and perhaps you need to reevaluate how you are living and your circumstances or the people around you, that you may perhaps be negatively affected by something or someone that you haven't really been realizing.
Interesting. Thank you, Neptune. It was nice talking to you. So next is Pluto. Pluto, can we talk to you?
Pluto is saying, you think I'm so big and powerful, but I'm not. I'm actually very small and gentle.
Interesting.
But I
So,
represent those things that you fear. And so in your mind, you have made me very big.
but you're actually gentle?
Yes, but I'm very sensitive, but I am like a vault and I protect those, and I protect what is sensitive to you, and I hide that which might hurt you. And so I do all of this gently and quietly, but because you fear me, because of the extreme sensitivity of the information that I hold, you may not realize that I'm gentle. I am gentle, but I hold the most profound emotions and information, most impactful information.
And what's the purpose of hiding all of this away just to dig it out later?
Because you are sensitive. You are sensitive. I protect you. I protect that which is most sensitive. You are not always strong. There are things that mean so much to you that it makes you very vulnerable. I protect that which is most important, most sensitive in terms of the emotional impact. And I withhold the information that may hurt you. And I won't show it to you until you feel ready, until you're ready to face the hurtful things.
And as the planet that is most far away from the Earth, what do you think about the Earth's energy and development?
You couldn't handle me closer. I think to be fair, there are a lot of things that you are hiding from yourselves. There is a lot of self-deception going on. So I can't say that you are experts at being authentic. There are a lot of things I'm having to hide or rather, that you are able to hide through my influence. So I can't say that you're doing an excellent job, but knowing your ability, knowing your development, I think you are doing the best that you can. And it's not a race. I think you are doing the best that you can. And in that sense, I am proud of your development, but I cannot say that you are honest and authentic. Most of the time, you are deceiving yourselves. It is more often the case that you are deceiving yourselves than not.
And what do you feel about repressed sexuality on Earth? Because you are connected to sexuality.
This is very sensitive. You are uniting with another emotionally. This is very sensitive. You are at one with somebody on an emotional level. This must be cherished. You are not honoring each other. You are not honoring each other. You are treating each other like objects. You are disregarding and disrespecting each other. You are not coming from a place of love and appreciation and openness and authenticity and care. You must care for this sensitivity in your partner too, and they must care for it in you. You must be loving, caring, and considerate with each other. It must be warm emotionally. This you are very awkward at. You can intuitively sense that this would be what would feel best for you, both in terms of your own needs, but also in terms of your conscience in how you treat your partners. But you are not usually able to fully live up to that because your society has a very awkward attitude to sex. The reason for that, you must know, is about a lack of love. The reason why sex is so abused and misused and awkward and shamed and fascinated, the reason why you are pushing for and against it at the same time, the reason why it controls you, the reason why it is such an obsession, while still being mistreated, is because you lack love. The love that is required to really honor the sexual act is something that you as a society have not achieved. You do not love each other. You do not honor each other. You do not treat each other with care. You do not consider other people an extension of yourself. When you can grow in love, only then can you truly understand and graduate in the University of Sex.
Wow. Those were some really wise words. Thank you, Pluto. Next in line is Chiron. Chiron, can we talk to you?
Mm-hmm.
Chiron, you are we call you the wounded healer. What do you think about this label?
Yes, it would be quite accurate.
Oh, good. And as a wounded healer, what do you think about the Earth's energy and spiritual development?
I can only observe that you have many different forms of healing. You have many different ways that you seek healing. And I am just observing them. Most of them are effective because, of course, your belief in them have a great impact. I can only observe that you are expressing my influence in a large variety of ways.
Can you name a few ways of healing that are not as effective?
It is all relative. It all depends on what your personal beliefs are. So while one method may be totally ineffective for you, it might be the most effective for somebody else. It is really a matter of your own convictions and your own beliefs. If you do not want something to be effective for you, then it cannot be. And if you so believe in something's efficiency, then it will be effective. Because you insist that the power is not within you, but in the medicine, whether that medicine is herbal or otherwise, or in terms of medicine from a doctor, because you insist that the power is not within you, but in the medicine, then it will give you the illusion that it is the medicine that is what's effective, whereas it is really about you and you being ready to believe that you now are well or believe that you are healing.
Wow, that's some beautiful advice. Thank you, Chiron. Okay, last but not least, we want to talk to Mama
One
Earth.
more
Oh.
comment from Chiron.
Sorry.
Your channel has spoken about her own health challenges, but is this not what motivated her to heal those listening? Is that not what gave her the inescapable desire to heal other people? There is blessing in your chosen health challenges because they are indeed chosen on some level, some more willingly than others. But you choose your illness, you choose your health difficulties for specific reasons, and they are perfectly tailored to give you the result you need in your life. In this case, the channel had a deep desire to heal people. I'm sorry, this is just
Wow.
Oh, God. Sorry, I just had to.
That was beautiful.
I felt that in my heart so strong. Oh God, Chiron outing me.
I
Oh,
mean,
this
that
is
was
when they're crazy like
beautiful.
this. I really felt that in my heart. Like, I mean, this hasn't really been a conscious. I haven't really done it consciously in that way, but
Yeah,
that was cool.
Chiron wanted to remind you.
Yeah, and I have been wondering, like, what's the purpose of these
Mm.
channeling? Like, because I felt like I was guided. Like, what is the purpose? And they did really start when I was really sick. So that's
Yeah, that
the
was
thing.
even the question last time. Wow.
Yeah, and we didn't get we didn't get this information. This is,
Yeah.
uh, oh God. Okay, that was, sorry, I couldn't.
Oh, no worries.
That was awesome. I love it when it's like so profound. I get like a heart, like
Mhm.
I feel like knocked out almost.
Yeah, I felt that for you, for sure.
Okay, let's carry on.
Okay.
Mm.
So, last but not least, we want to talk to Mama Earth.
Hmm.
Can we talk to you, Earth?
Yes.
So, we've asked all the other planets what they think about your energy and our development here on living on Earth. What do you feel about our energy here and our development?
You're you're unruly. You are quite unruly. You don't just relax, stay where you are and use what grows in your area. Sometimes you pick things just for the sake of picking them, even when you don't need it. You are a little bit like children. I view you the way you view children, in the sense that you have difficulty settling down and you do a lot of things unnecessarily. Yeah.
And do you feel that we are connected to you energetically, or do you feel that we are separating ourselves from you?
There are communities in the world that are very, very connected to me. They ask my permission for everything. They would never do anything against my will. They communicate with me. They are very gentle. There are other larger communities that do not know I am conscious, that do not know they can have an interaction with me. And in this sense, you will understand how we view you as children. Can you repeat the question?
Do you feel that we are disconnecting from you energetically?
In a sense, over a long period of time, you have moved from a greater connection to a lesser connection with me. But yes, you are slowly moving towards a greater awareness of my consciousness. And you are slowly moving towards a greater understanding of your responsibilities towards me.
And what do you have to say about climate change and everything that is happening to you? Do you have a message for us?
You know, I am able to perform some changes to wake you up. I can, if I want, create some changes that will give you the illusion that you are heading downhill. This is to get a specific result from you because you do not believe I have a consciousness. When you see a change, you assume that it's not a conscious change. You assume that it is just random or a result of something irreversible. And so I can take advantage of this unawareness on your part, and I can give you the changes required for you to wake up. I can reverse these changes, but so in this sense, I have an interaction with you to get the desired result. If you have started to make me uncomfortable in the sense that you are making my circumstances worse, yes, you are very far from living respectfully with me. I am aware of that. Sometimes I give you some wake-up calls to wake you up.
Wow, okay. Thank you, Earth. We love you and we are so grateful for you, for everything that you not only provide for us, but also bless us with in your presence. Thank you. Ah, I felt this love towards Mama Earth. Truly grateful.
We can talk to Earth. We can talk to Earth and she would respond. There are some native communities that do this.
How can we talk? How can we reach out to you personally?
You ask, if you are picking something from the grass, you ask this flower or whatever you're picking up, can I pick you up? And you feel for an answer. You will feel good about it or you will feel off about it.
You know what I do when I walk around the park? I talk to the trees and I tell them my worries sometimes. Is that, I don't know
That
why
is
I do.
excellent. They ground you. So your concerns and your worries that make you less grounded, they are absorbed by the trees and you can feel rooted again, like them.
Wow. And do the trees care about that? Like, does it harm them when I tell them my work?
No, your worries go up. It's like thought forms go up and your energy stays grounded. And so they are released and dispersed.
Wow, that's amazing. Just like they are turning carbon dioxide into oxygen. That's beautiful.
Exactly, because everything is in a relationship. There's perfection. Where this energy would be a stress on you, it would be beneficial in nature. And so you don't need to get rid of something. You just have to move it to where it's useful.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So, can we heal ourselves through being in nature and also interacting with you? Like, can you give us other examples on how we can connect to you on a more deeper level?
The more you are in nature, the more strength you will have. It will give you vitality. It will make you more true to yourself. It will make you more grounded. The more you are away from nature, for example, in high buildings and in tall office buildings in big cities, the more you are away from me, the more you are disconnected from your own nature, and the less you are able to replenish your energy. And so it takes a lot more pushing yourself to cope with day-to-day life rather than feeling well-being just for existing. City life takes away from a natural sense of well-being. You will find that mental health or mental illness or depression is more common in big cities. The further you are from nature, the further your access to natural well-being. And so if you live in a city far from nature, where you don't have daily contact with nature, you will need reasons to be happy and feel well. Whereas if you're close to nature, you will just feel happy for no reason. Not happy in the sense that you are joyous, but rather a sense of quiet well-being, a sense that all is well. This is something that you will not get unless you are in touch with nature on a regular basis.
Okay, thank you for those words of advice. Thank you, Mama Earth. We love you. Okay, the next question is, what is the purpose of dancing? Why do we dance?
It's an expression of joy. We dance to express joy. Can you give me some more questions around the topic? Because I want to approach it from more angles.
Okay, so what is the spiritual purpose behind dancing and the different forms of dancing?
It releases sadness. It trapped emotions get expressed in the physical movement. So when we push down emotions that are too painful or that are not dealt with, they get trapped in the body, and so with the movement they are released again, and so they give joy because you release a lot of unhappy feelings that are trapped. You feel lighter and you are more receptive to joy as you dance. I feel like there's more here, but I'm not getting it. I'm not getting all of this. So if you can like poke and prod from different angles, because I feel like there's a lot more.
Okay, wow. So how is dancing empowering us, and how is it healing us besides, like, how is it in, how is, because dancing is done socially, So how is it influencing other people when we dance?
Oh, I got so much on that. Number one, it's empowering because you are connecting with your own body. So it is an act of self-love. Whenever you are connecting with your own body, with yourself, that is an expression of self-love. It's an acknowledgement of the self. So in that sense, when you move your body, you are fully present in yourself. You are 100% with yourself. In terms of, you talk of your awareness and your attention and where you put that attention, whereas it is usually all over the place and distracted by a million things. When you are dancing, your awareness is in your body. You are feeling rather than thinking. You are really going for, you're really sensing for, what am I feeling in my body? Which is something that you tend to not do otherwise, although you should be. You should be feeling for how you feel in your body regularly, but you usually don't. And so when you are dancing, you are fully in your body and you are sensing for how does this movement feel, or how does this movement feel, and what feels good to me? What feels good to me? And you are doing only that which feels good to you. And so it is an act of self-love. It is an act of self-empowerment. It is an act of releasing trapped emotions. It is an act of joy and expressing your joy. It is multi-dimensionally effective. It is effective emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And that is the power of dance. It is not just spiritual or just physical or just emotional. It is all three. And you are very integrated in the act of dancing.
Wow, that is beautiful. Wow. Maybe one more question about the dancing. So there are people who are ashamed of dancing and they say, I can't dance, and they feel awkward moving. Is that because they're not in touch with their inner world?
There can be, for some people, a difficulty in self-expression in general, in truly expressing their personal feelings, joys, pains, and truly being themselves and honoring themselves. This is why, for some of these people, the main concern is, what will other people think of my dancing? And so their concern is usually other people. Dancing is an act where you are fully integrated with yourself, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. It is an act of self-love. And not that these people who don't like dancing necessarily lack self-love, but it might be worth looking at. What is the reluctance to honoring themselves? Might be worth for these people to ask themselves, am I reluctant to honor my emotions, my body, and myself? Am I reluctant to put my focus on me, not just my mental focus, but my feelings. Am I reluctant to feel what I'm feeling? Am I reluctant to be my main focus? This might be something that these people might want to ask themselves. It is not a major problem if they don't enjoy dancing, because they do sometimes enjoy dancing privately, but you didn't hear that from me. And so, just because you don't see them dancing doesn't necessarily mean they don't enjoy it. They may just tell you that they don't enjoy it. They quite enjoy it when they're on their own.
Cheeky, I love that. Okay.
We did not mean to spill their secrets, but we want to tell you that they're fine. They're fine.
Good, that's good to know. Thank you. Okay, the last question is, what's the difference between karma and destiny?
Destiny is an illusion. It is not one path that is decided for you and you are following this path. It is a lot more magical and complicated and multifaceted. There are billions of ways that things could go. Although you do tend to have a plan, in the sense that if you're taking a road trip, you know the plan is to pass certain cities, but the exciting part is what happens on the way. So all kinds of unexpected things could happen on the way, and how exactly you get to that city hasn't been decided, but you have a few targets that you want to hit on your path. This would be an example to illustrate what the plan is before you are born. You have a few targets that you want to hit, but anything between that or around that is very, very malleable, is very adaptable, and that's where the fun is, that anything can happen. But there are certain important things that you will experience. But it's exciting in the sense that everything else is up to you.
So are these specific points that we seek out to visit, are these sort of karmic, related to karma?
The way some of you understand karma, you could say that, yes. You could say it would be correct the way some of you understand karma to be. It really depends on how you define karma. The universe, or reality rather, has a perfection. It is both chaos and absolute and utter perfection. And so you could say that every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. But you could also say that just because something has happened doesn't mean that you are bound to the effects of it. And so, in terms of karma, there are many ways to describe it, many ways that would be contradictory and correct at the same time. And so it really depends on what point of view you need to hear and for what reason it might be helpful to you. But in terms of one absolute definitive answer, I cannot give you one.
So, are you saying that nothing is set in stone? Nothing is predetermined?
Yes and no. And herein lies the difficulty. If it can be both yes and no, it might be harder to answer your question.
Wow, okay. I see. Thank you. Our time is up, but I think this topic is so deep that, wouldn't do it justice.
Oh, wow. I think, hey, I think hopefully some of these inspire people to bring us more questions.
Yeah.
You guys, we want more questions. Where were they last time? I know it's only been 3 days, but we want questions.
Yes. And the more specific, the better. I feel like these open
Yeah.
questions are just, they always get this answer, yes and no.
Yes. Another thing that I've noticed is can make it more difficult is that like sometimes, people like some event has happened and so they give like more of a general question, which is good. It's supposed to be general because, we want it to apply to everybody. But when we don't understand the context, sometimes it's good to give like a context, like an example, like, for example, this happened to me. So I'm thinking, and here's my question, that gives it a bit of a context. So it's a starting off point.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you're willing to share some personal
Yeah.
experiences with us, yeah.
Yeah. Change the names though. We don't want aunties and uncles calling us, you know.
It's a good advice. Change the names and
Yeah. What did you think, Bahar?
I
What did you
like
think of?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, especially the dancing. I felt like that really affected you personally too. I feel like you were really touched by that, by the power of dance.
It
You
was really vast. I felt like it was like an opening to like something huge. I feel like dancing is like super underestimated. I
Yes.
felt like, there's so much. I felt like there was a lot of information that could come out, but it's like we just don't. I felt like we were kind of scratching the surface with that one. Um, but it felt like it makes sense because I feel like dancing can kind of be spiritual sometimes. Like I can have literally like spiritual experiences dancing.
Oh,
And
they
so,
they definitely on spiritual retreats they dance. Like there are some
yeah,
specific spiritual dances that evoke
yeah,
like there's also ecstatic dance that I
yeah,
heard of from a healer that I worked with, and she
yeah,
does these retreats where
yeah,
they do like ecstatic dancing, and they
yeah,
sort of raise their vibration and raise their energy up by
yeah.
dancing. It's amazing. I mean, I've
It's
never done
also
it, but it
it's
sounds
also
amazing.
interesting how when there's a dance style called trance, which like a music style called
Hmm.
trance, which is like a very spiritual
Hmm.
thing, where it's like it's a meditative state,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and a lot of like how like Latin American music can have like a very like trance inducing beats, you know? They can
Mm,
have a very trance inducing beat, and I think that's
yeah.
very interesting too.
I think, yeah, that's a question we could have asked, like
Yeah,
how
we
these
should get into that for
different
next time
cultures. Hmm.
because it's also interesting how I prefer dance styles that are very rhythmic. And I wonder what's because there's rhythmic dancing and then there's also like the more free flowing like
Fluid. Yeah.
ballet, like that are more like stretchy and like more
Mm,
um that
flowy.
would be that would be interesting to see. And also maybe if like different dance styles had a specific purpose, maybe that would be interesting.
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
influence you in a different way, and if you're
Yeah.
like intuitively attracted to the dance
Yeah.
style that you need.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
we gotta write this down after. We gotta
Yeah,
write this down. And you guys, if you like these question suggestions, let us know as well so we know. Because if you guys think they're totally off, maybe we won't do it. But
yeah.
if you
And then
think it would be interesting, let us know. Yeah.
yeah, and then I just remembered we were thinking about doing the zodiac signs. We talked
Oh,
about that
right.
here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And
Sorry.
yeah, if you guys are interested in Emine channeling the zodiac signs, then let us know, and let us know what specifically you would want to know about the zodiac signs, because we've gotten some comments about
Mm-hmm.
doing that, but it hasn't been very specific. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
we've done the planets. We were thinking of doing the zodiac signs as was suggested. What would you ask them? I'm
yeah,
thinking I would want to know, like, what are the best ways to express your energy and what are the ways to remedy your downsides. Like, we're in the
mm,
Cancer season. There are some wonderful qualities about Cancer, but there's also, a lot of fear. Cancer energy has a lot of fear. It's a lot of like being stuck in the past,
mm,
sensitive, um, you know, yeah. Anyway, so what would you ask the zodiac signs?
yes,
Yeah. Okay, this was interesting. I love how every time is different. I love how it's like we never know what's going to happen, where it's going.
yeah, and
I
where it
love
goes
it.
for sure.
Yeah, I
Some
can't wait to hear people's questions and comments for this one.
yeah,
So I want to remind everyone that there is a preview. If you click on the description box, you can check out a You can even download it. It's a preview of the Channeled Messages ebook called "How Does Oregano Feel?" Because don't we all need to know how oregano feels? And the question is, if you've never asked yourself how oregano feels, what have you been doing with your life?
yeah,
Isn't
you
how selfish? I know, right?
need to
Have you never,
reconsider your priorities.
yeah, like you've never asked yourself, how does oregano feel? Like, that's the thing. Maybe oregano doesn't want to be put on pizza. And so these things and
Spoiler
other,
alert.
yeah, these things and other very important questions about, everything about like heaven and hell and healing and cancer and like all kinds of stuff. But most importantly, oregano is going to be in the ebook, and you can check out the preview. I made a preview because it's like, we're trying to be Amazon here, Amazon got it. I'm no worse than Amazon, am I? So, yeah. So, check that out,
Check
and
it out.
we really
It's a good
appreciate the
time.
comments. We were just talking earlier, me and you, let's say Bahar, and we Bahar being new at this, it really makes a difference, doesn't it, to see like a nice comment? Isn't it like heartwarming? I
Yes,
still
and
think
encouraging.
it
Yes.
really
Thank you so
is.
much for
It
all the
really,
love
yeah,
you've been giving us. Yeah.
it really is. And like by now I think people are like super nice, but there was a time when like sometimes people write nasty stuff, and like it does affect you, like it does.
Remember that there are real people behind this with
Yeah,
hearts
and
and
not only that,
emotion.
yeah, exactly. And like we are, I'm not saying we're perfect, we're flawless, but we are doing our best. We do have good intentions. We want to like provide some value, help people out. So it's really appreciate. I still get really, really, I still feel really connected to a lot of the people commenting.
Yeah,
So
I think
yeah.
you got your biggest confirmation from Chiron today that you are doing
Yes.
really,
Oh
really
yes.
good work today. I think this was like the biggest moment in the channeling today.
I mean, there has been some like really like one. I always love the ones where it's like I feel like I was
Mhm.
hit in the heart, and this was definitely one of those moments. So it's like it's confirmation that this is meaningful to me. This is what I
And to
wanted to do. I
others.
want to help
Yeah.
people. Yeah, and so yeah, that's why it means a lot when it's like other people are confirming that it's like they are being helped by it, or it's like it does mean something. That's like,
Yeah.
then I feel like, yeah, no words can describe. That's really meaningful.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Bahar? What do you
I
think your intention was with
y-
this? You must have had
oh,
some intention, like some wish, like,
yeah, I mean, for me, this was like I kind of got dragged into it by you.
yeah.
I mean, not
But
dragged, but like
there are no coincidences. So maybe
exactly,
there was something about like you're just
exactly.
curious about the mysteries of life, or
And the thing is, I got to know you through like purchasing the channeling course and doing the channeling transcription. So I feel that maybe this is the universe nudging me into that direction. And because I've always been curious about it, and I've always been wanting to do it consciously. I think I've been
yeah,
doing it unconsciously a lot, a
yeah,
lot. I'm sure of that. And what I learned from you, and that's the biggest thing I think this is my intention. I want everyone to know and to learn that you can trust yourself. When you come from a place, yeah, you can trust your feelings, boo. Trust your intuition. Because the media, all the chatter, all we see on social media, it's trying to
yeah,
distract us and to make us feel disconnected. But I'm getting chills
yeah.
everywhere.
Same. I feel
Yeah,
like that was profound.
you can really trust yourself, and your higher self is talking through
Yeah,
you. Because
yeah,
what you taught me in your channeling course was that we are channeling constantly, and the only thing that you do when you do it consciously is that you don't doubt these
yeah.
thoughts that are coming to you, but you accept them as like divine
Guidance.
inspiration,
Yeah,
guidance.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I'm getting true chills.
yeah.
Wow. That was
I mean,
beautiful.
um, this is how we are, um, ex- God in a way. Like this is the
Our
part of us.
connection. Yes, that is
Exactly. This is
divine
the
and it's
part of us that
within.
is the divine. Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. That inner voice, that inner guidance.
yeah.
And, like if we didn't have that, if you can't trust that, how would we know who to trust? How
Mm,
would we know which
yeah.
one of the voices is correct? You
Yeah.
know, it's so good to know that it's like, and also that there isn't really necessarily a right and a wrong, just the right and a wrong for you.
Mm,
Which religion is right for you? Well, only
comes
you know.
through in the
You know.
channeling always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that
Wow.
was also like, I think that came up today in terms of like what medicine is, what type of
Mhm.
healing is most effective.
Yeah.
And it's like it depends on who you are,
You
because it's
do the
really,
healing. Yeah.
yes, that was really profound, because I do really believe in like herbal healing. I really believe in that. And so I could see it was like, well, because I believe in that, that's what it's really effective on me.
Yeah. It's the intention at the end of the day
Yeah,
that
yeah.
matters. Yeah.
And that was really profound, that we are the healers. That's awesome. Chiron was an unexpected wise guy there. No, wise,
Mm,
that sounds weird, but
we underestimate Chiron. Lada did like they actually measured the frequencies of the planets, and yeah, and they
mhm.
measured that Chiron has the
Oh,
highest frequency of 1,000. Yeah, it's like enlightenment.
that makes sense
Incredible.
why Chiron had such a punch in my
Yes,
gut.
why it
Wow.
hit you so much. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome, Chiron.
Don't
Ooh,
underestimate your Chiron's position, everyone. That's
I will never
your
again
superpower.
underestimate. Yeah, I have mine in Gemini, and so yeah. Anyway, that's irrelevant.
We're digressing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. We wanted to make these channelings a little longer than like the standard 45, 50 minutes, but we can't go too long. We'll see. Tell us how you feel about this format, this length. I'm thinking this is kind of ideal. It's about 70 minutes. So let us know what you think and what's an ideal length. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.